Okay, so as in the last video we have discussed about the rules for image formation. So today we are going to see like what the image would be formed after reflection, what would be the properties of that image, like that image would either be real or that would be virtual, or that would be highly diminished, or that would be highly enlarged. All right, so let's see where that image would be formed. So today we have the topic which is image formation by lenses. All right, we would be using those same rules which we discussed in our last class, image formation by lenses. All right, so we are going with our first case, which is if object is placed at infinity, so what image would be formed, where image would be formed, what would be the properties of that image. Let's see. So we do have the first condition where the object is placed at infinity, is placed at infinity. All right, let's see. Here I am using biconvex lens. All right, you can use biconcave lens as well. So here I am going to use biconcave lens. This is the lens, wait, this is the lens. Here we have principal axis. All right, here I have what, optical center. Here I'll have focal point, and here I'll have focal point as well. All right, so if image is not image, but if object is placed at infinity, so where the image would be formed. All right, and we know that if object is placed at infinity, so the lines which will be reaching to the lens will be parallel to the principal axis. All right, that we know. All right, so here we have parallel lines. So basically the object is placed where it is placed at infinity. So where they will meet, if they are going parallel to the principal axis, we know that this convex lens is converging lens. So this lens would converge these all rays to the focal point. All right, as you can see here. So here the meeting point will be there of these image. All right, so this would be the image. All right, so as we have seen, where is the image formed, if the lines are parallel to the principal axis, if the object is placed at infinity, the lines would be going to the lens would be parallel to the principal axis, and if they are parallel to the principal axis, we know that they will be converged, and they will be converged at the focal point. All right, so here we have object which is placed at infinity, and here we have image. All right, so now let's see what would be the properties of this image, the image which is formed at f. All right, so the first property which I'm going to write here is what, image. First I'm going with the location where image is formed. So image is formed at f. Remember this thing, when object is placed at infinity, the image would be formed where, it would be formed at the focal point. All right, first property. What we have, second property, so this image would be real and that would be inverted. If we have the word real, so that would always be inverted. All right, so as you can see, as I told you, when real image would be formed, when the image is formed uh, on the other hand of the lens. All right, object is placed on one side and image is formed on another side, so that image would be what, that would be real image. And if it is real image, then that would be inverted too. So real as well as inverted. inverted. Third, this image, like what would be the height of this image? This image would be highly diminished, like highly diminished, very small in size, and that small in size or highly diminished is also known as point size. All right, so what would be the size of this image? That would be highly diminished, which means very small, diminished, which is also known as point size. All right, point size. So here we have talked about the first condition, which was when object is placed at infinity, the image will be formed at f, and that image would be real and inverted, and that image would be highly diminished, and that is also known as point size. All right, now we are going with our second condition. What is that second condition? When object is placed beyond c. All right, that is center of curvature, or we can also write that as 2f, because this is the double of f. All right, when object is beyond c. When object is beyond c, let's see what happens. All right, so here I am making by convex lens. Here we have the principal axis. This is the optical center. Here we have f. Here we have f. All right. Here we have c, because c is the double of f. All right, and center of curvature is also lie on the principal axis. So here we have center of curvature. Now what is the condition we do have? The object is placed where? It is placed beyond c. All right, means the object is here now. Object is here. All right, it is placed beyond c. This is object. All right, so we will be applying two rules. Like the first rule, where when the line was going parallel to the principal axis, was always reflecting and was going through the focal point. All right, so here I am making this line is going parallel to the principal axis, and if this is going parallel to the principal axis, it would always pass through this focal point. All right, so here I am going to apply the second rule as well. So when the line which is going through the optical center will always reflect back with that same path. All right, wait, this is not straight at all, as you can see. All right, so this is straight line, and where the meeting point of these both lines is. So you can see here the meeting point is here. All right, so here the image would be formed. So where this image is formed, this image is formed between the f and 2f. All right, wait, let me make here the image. This is what? This is for image. All right, so as you can see here, when we place the object beyond c, the image is formed where? It is formed between the f and c. So here I can write its properties as well. What are the properties? As you can see here, first we are going with the location. All right, so where the image is formed? Image is formed between f and 2f, which is also known as c. So image is formed between c, f and c, which is also known as 2f. All right, first property we have written. So what is the second property we do have? The image is real and inverted. As you can see here, the image is formed on the other side of the lens, like the object is placed on one side and image is formed on an other side. So the image is real, and if it is real, then it is always inverted. Alright, so here we have the second property, which is real and inverted. Inverted. What do we have the third property? So the third property is this image is diminished. As you can see here, the object size is like this. Wait, the object size is this and the image size is this. So the image which is formed between the C and the F is diminished than the object. So this image is what? It is diminished. So I should write this as well. Image is diminished, which means small. Alright, so we have studied about the second condition as well. When the object is beyond C, the image would be formed between C and the F. Alright, so third condition we have when the object is placed at C or 2F, because we know that the second name of 2F is what? It is C, which means center of curvature. So we do have third rule. Let me write here the third rule first. So third rule is when object is at C or 2F. Alright, so let's make the lens here. This is the lens. Alright, here we have the principal axis. Here we have principal axis. Here we have focal point. Focal point. Here we have center of curvature and center of curvature. Alright, so now this is the optical center. Alright, so object is placed at C or 2F. So when object is placed here at the C, so let's see where the image will be formed. So we are going to apply our first rule first. When the line is going, incident ray is going parallel to the principal axis, it will always pass through the focal point. Alright, so this is going parallel to the principal axis and it will always pass through the focal point. Alright, and second rule we have, when it will pass through the optical center, it will always reflect back with the same path. So as you can see here. Alright, so wait, as you can see here, where is the meeting point of these two lines? Alright, here is the meeting point. So as you can see here, the image is formed here. And where this image is formed? This image is formed at the C. Alright, at C the image is formed. So let me write this down, write the properties. Initially I am going to write the location first. So image is formed at C or 2F. Image is formed at C or 2F. Alright, image will be formed at C or it will be made on 2F. Alright, so what is the nature of the image? As you can see here, it is made on another side. So the nature of image is what? It is real, and if this is real, then it is always inverted. So this is real as well as inverted. Inverted. Alright, third, the image size would be the same as the object size. So the image size is same. Alright, so now we are going with our third rule. So third rule, not third condition. So what is the third condition we do have? When the object is between C and the F. Wait, let me write here. Here we have fourth rule. When the object is between C and F. Object is between C and F. Let's see where the image would be formed. Let me make the lens here. So here I have lens. Here we have principal axis. Alright. Here we have focal point. And here we have C, which is center of curvature. Here we have focal point. And here we have C, which is the center of curvature. Alright. So here we have optical center. Alright. So now where the image is placed between C and the F, which means image is placed here. Alright. So let's see where would be the image formed. Alright. So I am going to apply the first rule first. When the ray is going parallel to the principal axis, this is going parallel to the principal axis, will always pass through the focal point. Alright, as you can see here, it has passed. Second rule, when the ray is going from the optical center, it will always reflect back from that same path. Wait. Alright. So here is the meeting point of these two lines. Here is the meeting point. Alright. So image would be formed here. This is image. Alright. So when we place an object between the C and the F, so where the image is formed beyond C. Alright, image is formed beyond C. So let's write the properties of this first. So where the image is formed beyond C. Image is formed beyond C. Alright, second property, this would be again real and that would be inverted. So real as well as inverted. Thirdly, the size. As you can see, the object size, this is small than the image size. As you can see, image size, that is much bigger than the object size. So the size of the image would be enlarged. Image is enlarged. Enlarged. Alright, so we have discussed the fourth condition as well. Let's go to the last condition, which is the fifth condition. Alright, what if the image, the object is placed between P and F? Let's see that condition as well. Alright, so we do have fifth condition here. What's the condition basically? When the object is between P and F. P and F. Alright. So P is what? P is the center of spherical surface, as I have told you in the terminologies. So let me make here the lens first. Here I am making biconvex lens. Here we have principal axis. Alright. Here we have focal point. Center of curvature. Alright. Here we have focal point. and here we have center of curvature. Alright, so here we have optical center. Now object is placed between the P and the F. As we know that P is the center of this spherical surface, which is also known as pole. Alright, so image is placed here. Alright, so let's apply the first rule first. Let's see this. As you can see, we are going to apply this first rule. When we are passing a ray parallel to the principal axis, it will always go through the focal point. So as you can see here. Then again, second rule, when the ray will be going from the optical center, will always reflect back with that same path. Alright, so here you can see these lines are not meeting, which means they will not form image here on this side. Alright, but if I do consider this like they are appear to diverge. Alright, if I do take this long and I do meet this as well. So as you can see here, where the image would be formed, the image would be formed here somewhere. Alright, the image would be formed here somewhere. So as you can see here, the image would be formed here somewhere. Alright, so where this image is formed, this is formed behind the mirror. Wait, let me write here. This is image. So let me write the properties of this first. Let me write here. So this image is formed behind the mirror. Secondly, the nature of the image is virtual and erect. Alright, why this is virtual and erect? Because as you can see, when I was telling you here, like one side we have the object and another side the image is formed, but here you can see the object is placed here and here the image is formed. So that's why this is virtual and erect, which means that would be straight, like, alright, so this is virtual and erect. Thirdly, what would be the size of this image? Alright, that image would be enlarged. Alright, because as you can see, what's the size of the object we do have and what's the size we do have of the image. Alright, that is highly enlarged. So the image size would be enlarged, and that would be virtual and erect, and that image would be formed where? It would be formed behind the mirror. So this was all about today. In the next class, we'll be going with thin lens formula, which is also known as lens equation. Alright, so this was all for today.